Part 1. The Beginning. In 1997, a film called Men in Black was released by Columbia Pictures. It starred Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. It grossed $589 million worldwide. It won an Academy Award. It spawned 2 sequels, an animated series, a theme park ride, and a spin-off that nobody asked for and everyone watched anyway. It was not a film. It was a documentary. A documentary with a $90 million budget, a Hollywood director, a professionally composed Will Smith rap over the end credits, and approximately 40 minutes of footage of a pug doing nothing in particular that Columbia Pictures described as essential to the plot. The pug's name was Mushu. Mushu was not briefed on the true nature of the production. Mushu has never commented publicly. Mushu is the only member of the cast who got out clean. Part 2A. The Department, First Half. The Men in Black film was commissioned, funded, approved, and monitored by a government department established in 1947. The department's name does not appear in the official parliamentary record. It does not appear in the Cabinet Office Directory. It does not appear in the Civil Service Staff Handbook. It does not appear in the Government Phone Directory, or the supplement, or the index of the supplement. It does not appear anywhere official, anywhere at all. It does appear in the following places: a recycling collection schedule published by Swindon Borough Council in 1987, listed under Commercial Premises, collection every other Wednesday, no glass. Nobody has explained this. The recycling has been collected every other Wednesday since 1987 without fail. The bin is always full. Nobody knows what they're putting in it. A function room listing in the menu of a Harvester restaurant in Coventry that closed in 1994. Listed as available for private hire, minimum 12 guests, buffet included. Please speak to the manager regarding dietary requirements. Nobody ever booked the function room. The Harvester closed. The listing remained in the menu until the final day of trading. The last customer to read it ordered the mixed grill and did not comment. The mixed grill was fine. A 1987 Yellow Pages for the Greater Manchester area, listed under Miscellaneous Services, between a mobile dog groomer and a man who repaired lawnmowers and asked that you call before 6 p.m. The phone number listed has been disconnected since 1993. 3 people have tried it anyway. All 3 heard a dial tone, then silence, then what one described as someone shuffling papers, and then the line went dead. All 3 called back. All 3 got the same thing. None of them called a third time. A Blockbuster video membership database entry from 1998 showing an unreturned copy of Men in Black checked out on the 14th of July 1997 and never brought back. The late fee accumulated to £340 before Blockbuster went into administration. The fee was never collected. The copy was never returned. The membership number does not correspond to any registered account. The name on the membership is listed as D. It's fine. The address is listed as Just Leave It, Wiltshire. Part 2B. The Department. The department is called the Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It. The Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It was established on a Tuesday in 1947 by 3 men in a room who had been trying to name it for 6 hours and had a train to catch. The first suggestion was the Bureau of Extraterrestrial Management and Public Perception. The second suggestion was the Office of Non-Terrestrial Entities and Associated Concerns. The third suggestion was the Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It. The vote was 2-1. The man who voted against it had the longest commute. He has never forgiven the other two. He grows tomatoes now. He grows them with considerable passive aggression. The Department of "It's fine, just leave it" has operated continuously since 1947. Its annual budget has increased every year without exception and appears in the national accounts under a line item described as "Other," which sits between defense and education, and has never once been questioned by any member of any parliamentary committee because it is between defense and education, and everyone assumes someone else is dealing with it. Nobody is dealing with it. Its annual report is 340 pages long. Every page reads, "It's fine." The font is Arial 12. The line spacing is 1.5. The formatting was set by Colin in 1987 and has not been changed. Not the Wiltshire Colin, not the Whitehall Colin, the third Colin. There are now 3 Collins. Nobody is comfortable with this. Nobody has been comfortable with this since the third Colin arrived in 2019, sat down at a desk that wasn't his, opened a spreadsheet, and has not been asked to leave because everyone assumed someone else was dealing with it. Nobody was dealing with it. It's fine. Just leave it. Part 3. The Aliens. The aliens are real. This will not surprise most people. What will surprise most people is that the aliens are deeply, profoundly, almost personally embarrassed about the whole situation. They did not ask to be here. They did not plan to be here. They were passing through in 1947, and something went wrong with the navigation, and they ended up in Roswell, New Mexico, which was nobody's first choice, and in fact was not even on the list of acceptable emergency landing sites, because the list of acceptable emergency landing sites specifically excluded anywhere in New Mexico on the grounds that New Mexico is, and this is a direct translation from the original document, a bit much. They have been trying to leave since 1947. They cannot leave. The paperwork is enormous. The paperwork is being processed by the Department of "It's fine, just leave it." The paperwork is currently with Colin, the third Colin. Colin has not looked at it yet. Colin will look at it after lunch. Colin has been meaning to look at it after lunch since 2019. The aliens' presence on Earth is not documented in any official government record, any international treaty, any United Nations resolution, or any document produced by any intelligence agency in any country. It is documented in the following places: a parish newsletter from St. Margaret's Church in a village in Shropshire called Munslow, published in September 1987, which contains, under the heading Community Notices, a single line reading, "Residents are reminded to be welcoming to newcomers regardless of their background or point of origin." The newsletter was produced by a woman named Brenda. Brenda has since moved away. Nobody knows where Brenda went. The village misses Brenda. Brenda made excellent scones. A Little Woods catalog from 1991, page 847, in the section for home security products, which contains a product description for a motion sensor light that includes the sentence, "Suitable for all outdoor environments and tested against a variety of visitors, including those from considerable distances." The catalog has been out of print since 1994. 3 copies are known to exist. All 3 are in a filing cabinet in Dusseldorf. A Halford's loyalty card account registered in 1998 under the name A Visitor, address listed as ongoing, points balance 847. Last transaction recorded as a purchase of a road atlas of Great Britain, described in the system as urgent. The points have never been redeemed. The account remains active. Halfords has not questioned this. It's fine. In the meantime, the aliens have integrated into human society with varying degrees of success. One of them is a hedge fund manager in Connecticut and is doing extremely well and would prefer not to be identified. One of them works in insurance in Swindon and finds it fine. One of them has been working at the same post office in Doncaster since 1987 and has developed strong opinions about the queue management system that he shares with anyone who will listen and several people who will not. He has submitted 14 formal complaints. The complaints have been received. The complaints are being reviewed. The complaints will always be reviewed. None of them want to be in the documentary. None of them were consulted about the documentary. None of them have seen the documentary because they find Will Smith's energy exhausting. This is considered the most relatable thing any of them have said since arriving in 1947. Part 4. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were not actors in Men in Black. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were consultants. The department of "It's fine, just leave it" needed the film to look authentic. They needed people who knew how the operation actually worked, people who had been doing the job, people who owned the suit already and wouldn't need to be measured. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones were approached in 1995 by a representative of the department of "It's fine, just leave it," who arrived at each of their homes in a black car, knocked on the door, showed them a document, and asked if they would be willing to participate in a dramatization of their actual lives for theatrical release. The document shown to Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones does not appear in any official record. It does appear in the index of a primary school library in Huddersfield, catalogued under non-fiction, reference number 847, last checked out in 1998 by a child named Marcus, who returned it 2 days late and paid a fine of 20 pence. The librarian noted in the returns log that Marcus seemed quiet when he brought it back. Marcus has not discussed the book. Marcus is now an accountant in Leeds. Marcus takes the bus to work. Marcus finds the commute fine. Marcus scratches his ear occasionally without thinking about it. Will Smith said, "I'm in." Will Smith said this before finishing the sentence. Will Smith had not been told the salary yet. Will Smith did not ask about the salary. Will Smith has never explained this. Tommy Lee Jones read the document carefully, asked 4 questions, received answers to 2 of them, was told the other 2 were above his clearance level, despite this being his own life story, and said, "Fine." The characters they played were based on themselves. The names were changed. Agent J is not Will Smith's real designation. Agent K is not Tommy Lee Jones's real designation. Their real designations are classified. Their real designations rhyme with their fake ones. This was not intentional and has been described internally by the Department of "It's fine, just leave it" as an administrative oversight that is fine and everyone should just leave it. The suits did not need to be sourced by the costume department. The suits were already correct. They have always been correct. The suit does not make the man. The suit was issued to the man. There is a difference. Part 5. The production. Filming Men in Black took approximately 6 months. Nobody who worked on the film remembers the 6 months clearly. They describe it as a blur. A productive blur. A blur during which things definitely happened, and scenes were definitely filmed, and a pug called Mushu definitely appeared in 40 minutes of footage that was described as essential to the plot, and that test audiences rated as the most memorable part of the film, despite none of them being able to explain why. One test audience member wrote on their feedback card, "The dog understands something." The feedback card was filed by the Department of "It's fine, just leave it" under "Concerning, but fine, just leave it." This is a subsection. The subsection has 847 entries. Nobody has read all 847. The blur was intentional. On the final day of filming, after the last scene was wrapped and the crew had assembled for the traditional end-of-production drinks, 2 men entered the room. The men were wearing suits. Not the costume department suits, the correct suits. The men produced a device. The device was small. The device emitted a brief flash of light. Everyone in the room blinked. Everyone in the room forgot the last 6 months. Everyone in the room looked around, noted they appeared to be at a party, concluded this was probably fine, and got a drink. The 2 men left. The 2 men got into a black car. The black car drove away. Nobody watched it go. The device does not appear in any weapons register, any technology patent, any scientific publication, or any government inventory. It does appear in a lost property log from Leeds Bradford Airport dated March 1997, listed as "one small handheld device, silver, purpose unknown, found at Gate 14, unclaimed after 90 days, disposed of in accordance with standard procedure." Standard procedure at Leeds Bradford Airport is to donate unclaimed items to a local charity shop. The charity shop is in Headingley. The charity shop sold the device in April 1997 for £2.50. The buyer's name is not recorded. The buyer paid in cash. The buyer was wearing a suit. The suit was correct. Will Smith wrote a rap about the film. Will Smith does not remember writing the rap. Will Smith performed the rap at the premiere. Will Smith does not remember the premiere. Will Smith has described the whole experience as wild. Will Smith does not know why he describes it as wild. It just feels right. It has always felt right. Part 6A. What was left out? First half. The Men in Black film contains several inaccuracies introduced deliberately by the Department of "It's fine, just leave it" to maintain plausible deniability. The aliens do not look like that. The aliens look considerably more like your neighbors than the film suggests, and this was a deliberate creative decision made at the highest level of the Department of "It's fine, just leave it," specifically to prevent people from looking at their neighbors and thinking, "Hang on." People have been looking at their neighbors and thinking, "Hang on," since 1947. The Department of "It's fine, just leave it" considers this an acceptable level of suspicion. The acceptable level of suspicion is documented in a paper written in 1963. The paper does not appear in any academic journal, any government archive, or any library catalog. It does appear in the appendix of a Harvester dessert menu from 1991, printed in a font size of 4, between the description of the chocolate fudge cake and a note reminding diners that the ice cream machine was temporarily out of order. The ice cream machine was not temporarily out of order. The ice cream machine has never been out of order. The Department of "It's fine, just leave it" put that note there. Nobody questioned it. It's fine, just leave it. The paper concludes, "Some suspicion is fine. Widespread certainty is not. The current level is probably fine. Just leave it." The neuralyser does not look like that either. The real neuralyser is smaller. The real neuralyser is disguised as something you encounter every day and interact with without thinking. The Department of "It's fine, just leave it" has declined to specify what it is disguised as. 3 researchers have independently concluded it is disguised as a self-checkout machine. All 3 have since described their memories of the last 5 years as a bit hazy. All 3 grow tomatoes now. They all grow the same variety. None of them will say which variety. Part 6b. What was left out? Second half. The worm aliens in the coffee room were not in the original script. The worm aliens were added by a junior writer who thought they were funny. The junior writer was correct. The department of "It's fine, just leave it" approved them on the grounds that nobody would believe the worm aliens were real. The worm aliens are real. The worm aliens work in the break room at the department of "It's fine, just leave it." The worm aliens make excellent coffee. This is the most useful thing anyone at the department of "It's fine, just leave it" does on a daily basis. Everyone knows it. Nobody has said it out loud. It's fine. Just leave it. Part 7a. Gary, first half. Gary from Yorkshire Has Known Men in Black was a documentary since 1997. Gary saw it on opening weekend. Gary turned to the person next to him approximately 11 minutes into the film and said, "This is real." The person next to him said, "Gary, it's a Will Smith film." Gary said, "I know what it is." Gary did not elaborate. Gary did not need to elaborate. Gary went home. Gary updated the board. Gary added 14 items. Gary attempted to post about it online in 1997. The internet was not widely available in Gary's area in 1997. Gary posted about it anyway. Gary is not sure how. Gary has not looked into it. Gary posted about Men in Black on every available platform from 1997 onwards. The posts always received between 3 and 7 likes. The posts were always removed. Except one. In 2021, Gary posted a photograph. The photograph showed 2 men in suits walking away from a black car on a street in Leeds. The men's faces were not visible. The suits were correct. The photograph received 847 likes before it was removed. 847. Gary has not posted a photograph since. Part 7b. Gary, second half. Gary looked at the photograph for a long time before posting it. Gary looked at the photograph for a long time after it was removed. Gary did not say anything. Gary did not need to say anything. Gary already knew. Gary always already knows. The photograph does not appear in any archive, any news database, any social media record, or any digital repository. It does appear in a school newsletter from Northfield Comprehensive in Bradford, published in the autumn term of 2021 under the heading, "Did you see this?" contributed by a Year 9 student named Tyler, who described it as, "Well, weird." Tyler has not elaborated. Tyler takes the bus to school. Tyler scratches his ear occasionally without thinking about it. Tyler is on version 4.7. Tyler is fine. Part 8a. The Epilogue. First half. The aliens are still here. The paperwork is still with Colin. The third Colin. Colin has not looked at it yet. Colin will look at it after lunch. The alien in Swindon processed 3 insurance claims this morning and finds the work fine. The alien in Doncaster has submitted his 15th formal complaint about the post office queue management system. The complaint has been received. The complaint is being reviewed. The complaint will always be reviewed. The hedge fund manager in Connecticut had another exceptional quarter. Nobody knows how. Nobody is asked. It's fine. Just leave it. The device from Leeds Bradford Airport has not been located. The charity shop in Headingley closed in 2019. The proceeds went to a local hospice. The hospice is lovely. This is not relevant. Will Smith does not remember any of this. Will Smith describes the whole experience as wild. Will Smith is correct. Mushu the pug passed away in 2004. Mushu was the only one who got out clean. Mushu knew nothing. Mushu was a pug. Mushu was fine. The Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It issued a brief internal statement upon Mushu's passing. The statement read, "It's fine. Leave it." The statement does not appear in any official record. It does appear in the classified section of the Doncaster Free Press, dated 14th March 2004, between an ad for a second-hand lawnmower and a notice about a missing cat named Gerald. The cat was found. The cat's name was not Gerald. The cat had always been called Derek. Nobody could explain why they had been calling it Gerald. They had been calling it Gerald for 3 years. Nobody questioned this at the time. They question it now. Part 8b, the Epilogue, second half. The formatting of the statement was Arial 12. Line spacing 1.5, set by Colin. Not the Wiltshire Colin, not the Whitehall Colin, the third Colin. The pigeon was seen on the roof of the Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It at 0317. Security were informed. Security reviewed the footage. Security described the pigeon as larger than expected. Security noted the eyes were not visible. Security submitted a report. The report was received by the Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It. The report does not appear in any official record. It does appear in a Wetherspoon's breakfast menu from 2003 that was recalled for unrelated reasons, listed under specials, between the Full English and the Eggs Benedict, described only as pending review. It has always been pending review. The Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It reviewed the report. The Department of It's Fine, Just Leave It issued a response. The response read, "It's fine. Just leave it." The missing cat notice in the Doncaster Free Press included a photograph. The cat's eyes were not visible in the photograph. This was not commented on at the time. It is being commented on now. The cat was found outside Barry Manalo's house, not the singer. The cat was fine. Barry bought white bread on Thursday. Everything is fine. Just leave it.